You said you were a former cop. Are you a former cop? How do you feel about what they did to John O'Keefe? You okay with that? Seriously. You know he was alive when they put him out there at 3 a.m, right? How do you feel about that?
Why don't you identify yourself?
One of your fellow brothers in blue, right? You're a retired cop, okay? Because I know he's a retired cop. I saw him speak at the last meeting, so I assume you are too. How do you guys feel about that? A Boston police officer thrown out on the lawn. I mean, are you a cop too?
Say something.
A Boston police officer thrown out in the lawn like trash.
Good.
Who are you? Who are you?
I got just as much standing
James
as
White.
you do.
Me.
Paul McAuliffe.
Good. Nice
Yeah.
to meet you.
I mean, how do you feel about what they did to John O'Keefe?
I know, but
No, do you know what there's no need for?
Somebody
You know what there's no need for?
without
Throwing John
reasoning.
O'Keefe on the lawn like trash.
If you're gonna
There's no need for that.
If you're
There's
gonna
no need for
confront,
that.
right?
That's fine. All right.
But,
I'm just letting the process play out.
What does that mean? Do
if
you
the
think the
process
process
is-
is going fairly? Do you think
I
the
don't
process
know.
is fair when
I
Michael
don't know.
Proctor,
I don't
who is
know.
close friends with the
I
Alberts and
don't know. You're
McCabe's?
asking me a question I don't know.
Maybe you should research it. It's kind of a big deal. I mean, you're here because
I'm
you
not a
care,
cop.
right?
I know, but
I'm not
why?
a
But you're
cop.
here because you care,
Why
right?
is he getting?
I mean, you're here with
his
this tough
face?
guy.
I'm here about.
You're here with
my
Santa Claus,
town.
right?
I care about my town.
I know.
Do you
but-
care about?
but
Do you
why
care
is
about that
he
there are
in his
murderers
face?
walking around your town right now?
Murderers.
Yes, murderers. People that murdered John
Ooh.
O'Keefe. That would be up to Michael Proctor to decide, but I think everyone's best guess is Colin
Well,
Albert,
you're the
Brian
one
Albert,
who's-
and Jennifer
You're the
McCabe.
one who's telling me.
Okay, well, Jennifer
Okay.
McCabe Googled how long to die in cold at 2:27 in the morning when she allegedly thought that John O'Keefe was
All
at
right.
home in bed.
Well,
so
then-
she's one of them.
Then there really shouldn't be any problem.
Oh, but
No,
there
but
is.
what's
with
his
Karen
problem? What's his
getting off.
problem?
But there is. You know why? Because the lead investigator is Michael Proctor, a close family friend of the Alberts and McCabe's, who has literally never questioned 5 witnesses who
It's
were
bigger
inside the
than
house.
him. It's bigger than him.
It's bigger than who?
Yeah, it goes up all the way to the DA. You got the feds involved, everything.
Well, who are the
I'm
feds
not-
investigating?
I'm not worried about it.
Who are the
I'm
feds
not worried
investigating?
about it.
What do you mean you're not worried about it? What
I'm
does that
not
mean?
worried about it. I think the process is playing out.
You think the process is playing out fairly?
I don't know.
You think it's
Right.
right? Do you think there's a conflict of interest to have a close family friend be the lead investigator on a case in which you were inside the house
Jim White.
when a body was dropped on the lawn?
Who are you?
I mean, that's a lot to go on. I'd have
Do you
to
have a
decide
voice?
that.
Are you law enforcement?
What?
Are you law enforcement?
Kind of.
Okay, so if there was a body found on the front lawn, do you think the house should be searched?
Sure.
Dude, you're crowding other people. You know, what are you doing?
You figure out.
What? Are you,
I mean, you're a former
threatening me?
cop. I mean,
you threatening
is
me?
this how things worked back in the day? You rough people up.
Hi.
Is this Bernie Albert?
My friend.
No,
No, it's not.
I don't.
This
I
is
think
not
it might
Bernie,
be.
is it? Is that Bernie?
That's not Bernie.
I don't think it
thought
is.
it was.
Bernie's more slovenly. This guy's a little.
Bernie's responsible for this beautiful legacy.
Yeah, he's left quite a legacy. But seriously, you don't sound like a
if
bad
you-
guy.
if you have-
But
why
you
don't
should
you- why
educate
don't you,
yourself on what
just
happens.
admit-
Because it's absolutely awful what they're doing. You're seeing right
you
now
are.
a cover up of a Boston police officer because the person whose house it happened at.
Do you have the
was
balls
also
to tell
a
me
Boston
what your
police
name
officer.
is?
I think if it's as obvious as everybody's saying it is, then it'll play out that way.
What's your name?
But not if the lead detective
What's your name?
is a close family friend, the person who controls it all.
What's
and
your
that's
name?
the problem. Don't you think he should not be the lead detective? Like he should step aside and say
Jim White.
somebody else should lead this investigation besides me, since I've
What's
known
your
him my
name?
entire life.
He's got a piece of
Maybe,
paper
and he's a
that
state-
says business.
Yeah, he's a state trooper.
Shit your pants or something.
That's
And he
a
li-
big- that's
and he
a
lives
big
in Canton.
No,
That's a big
you're a
organization.
shit stain.
I find it hard to believe that somebody else wouldn't
It's great.
have any kind of input in that.
I think that's a great point, but the problem is this is happening. There's dozens of state police detectives in this county that could be investigating this. They chose Michael Proctor, who lives up the road, who graduated from Canton High School. His sister graduated in the same year as Jill Daniels, the aunt of Colin Albert, who was inside the house the night that John O'Keefe was murdered and found on the lawn. Do you know that 11 people left that house? Supposedly there was a body on the front lawn and not one of them saw it. Do you know that the plow driver went by at 2:30 in the morning and reported not seeing a body on the front lawn, and that he was not even interviewed by the state police until August 10th, 2023, 17 months after the murder of John O'Keefe?
All of this stuff, I'm not disputing, okay? I'm not disputing that. I just appreciate the integrity of my town.
Your town
staying
has no
intact.
integrity right now.
None.
Not as long as this man.
Do you
right
do you
here.
live
This is
here?
I live in the Commonwealth of
That's
Massachusetts.
it?
Are
That's
the
it?
women in-
That's
Did
it?
you not
No,
see the that's fucking
it.
select
Yeah, they all
board?
live. They all live
Do you
in
know
the
how
town.
many
Did you
women-
not see how full that room was? And they
Suburban
could have got their
I've seen
tongue.
that
fuller
wanted
rooms.
to-
You've seen fuller rooms. There was.
What?
need to come
Come
out of
on,
my
man.
house. A lot
Have you
of them are
seen a
afraid.
select board meeting
This
where
guy's really intimidating.
a journalist
Yeah.
brought
Yeah.
up
Yeah.
how the sign that says Prince Albert killed
Yeah.
someone?
I think that's a first
Yeah.
for you. I think that's a first. I mean, this is not good,
Are you
man.
serious?
Yeah.
Don't you think that he should resign at the very
Got
least?
a police over because he's
Yeah, he's fine. Grandpa's fine. Just back in his day, this is like an intimidation tactic that they learned back in the '60s, and he's got to be a hardo. He's a retired cop. I get he's got a thing to do with it. He's a big hardo. He's like, yeah, you know, he doesn't want some young buck from out of town coming into his town and kind of, you know, messing things up. They like things the way they are around here. They like things the way they are, and that's what you're doing with us, right? The status quo. The status quo.
You live in this town?
So,
so funny. So he's funny.
I mean, do you want to make out with me? What's going on here? I mean,
No, Jill Daniels.
do you want to kiss me? Is that what you want? You're smiling. You seem really excited, getting close.
I'm smiling.
I mean, you don't smell bad, to be perfectly honest with you. But it's, I mean, I would, I guess. You have to get, you'll get in line after Jill Daniels. But, you know Jill Daniels? Do you know Jill Daniels? Come on, why can't you say who you are? You know we can find out, right?
You just said you're not.
Come on, why not just tell me?
So you are.
Come on.
Tell us what you think.
Wait, what do you think about the process, sir? What do you think about the process that's been on here? Do you have opinions? Do you say words?
Nope.
So what are you here for?
I knew it.
What'd you come to the meeting for?
I like speaking.
Because I came with a purpose. What purpose did you come
I
for?
was like, oh my god, that has to be him because of the way you're talking.
Nothing?
Trisha, Mark.
Nothing? Okay.
What's his name?
Paul McCullough.
Hi, Paul. Hi. Elise, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Paul.
But it's not, I understand,
What's the problem?
Paul McCullough, third, right?
Yeah, but that's a
Because you
generational
didn't think
legacy.
I should say anything about Chris even though I had news articles.
Paul McCullough.
You didn't want me to post that. And then I
That's
started
it.
I
getting
didn't want you
harassed
to post what?
on everything Canton.
That's him. Yeah. You know him? You know his
Yeah,
family?
it was months ago. That's why I
I
remember
never
it
said you
because of
couldn't
the way
post
you were
on everything
talking.
Canton.
What?
I never said you couldn't post on everything Canton.
You did too.
When?
You.
I didn't.
They just
are
don't
you a
like the
Canton police
truth.
officer? No? Another town or?
No, I'm not a police officer.
Oh, come on. You said you're something in law enforcement.
What?
You said you're something in law enforcement, like a jail guard or something, CO?
No, I work for the Department of Correction.
Okay, gotcha. And
You
know,
actually,
Gonna see your buddies
you
over
actually
behind bars
highlighted
soon.
me at one point because I was speaking out against Jamie Eldridge.
did I really? So
Yeah.
you were a good guy. That's good. Okay. Not a fan. See, Jamie Eldridge is another guy who should be down here. He claims to stand for criminal justice reform. And here we have the most egregious example of why we need criminal
Jamie
justice
Eldridge is a
reform.
Soros guy.
Well, I know, but the Soros guy should be standing with us right now. Like, this is the one time where I'm actually calling out the thin blue line and
Well, I
saying
mean, he
that,
doesn't really represent this area, so it's not his.
yeah,
not
but
his
it's like
area.
if an injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. Turtle Boy quoting Martin Luther King right there. And if I live an hour from here, but I don't live in this county, I don't live in this town. But I'm still invested in it because if this can happen to Karen Reed in this town, where else can this happen? Because Karen Reed is a nice person. She's a nice person. She didn't do
I
anything
don't
wrong.
know her. I believe she is a nice person.
Like, she doesn't bring people like this to meetings and acting like tough guys like this. Like, this says a lot right here. The way this guy is behaving, his thuggish behavior right here, trying to intimidate. I don't know what he's trying to do.
I don't know.
He's certainly not here to talk.
Well, if you're talking to me, talk to me.
I know, but it's the peripheral here. The peripheral. So, you know, see what I'm saying? It's like, what's going on? It's like it's an eclipse here. A Grandpa Eclipse. So, anyway, I highly suggest you read up on this because Karen Reed did not do it. It is not an opinion. It is a fact. She did not do this. She's not going to jail for this. And there's an FBI investigation into it. And you might want to think about what side of history you want to be on when this is all said and done.
Look, I just want to be on Canton's side. of
Then be
history.
with us. Then you're with us then because we're
We're
on the
on
side of
Canton's
Canton.
side. We
We're-
are
we're-
we're fucking random citizens.
Yeah.
See?
That's what John Connolly called them.
That's
She's
what
not
I am.
she's not actually coarse. She's quoting John
And I
Connolly on the hot
voted for
mic.
him.
It's pretty offensive, isn't it, when you hear it and you're
Yeah, it
sitting
is.
there?
He was
What?
visibly
You have a
shaken.
question or you make a statement and they don't want to hear it. They want to. So he says,
they
"Fucking
really
random
wanna-
citizen" in the hot mic. He's got to learn how that works.
Well, I never said that was a decent thing.
What?
I never said that was a decent thing.
Yeah. Well, they don't want to hear
Why
from
are you
us.
yelling at me?
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm a little,
Well-
a little bit
loud and
upset
excited.
because this is the town that I
Why
live
are
in,
you
raise
yelling?
kids in.
Please. That's
Why wouldn't I yell? It's upsetting that I don't feel like I can call the police if I have something wrong.
Call the police.
Oh, no, that's a big problem,
Right
man.
now.
I would not feel safe in this town with the police in this town. Absolutely not. And I'm not kidding
Do you
either.
know any of them?
I know that
Yeah.
I know that they know
Absolutely.
that Karen Reed didn't do this, and they're all
And you
going
don't
along with
trust
it.
any of them.
Did you know that the Canton police, when they arrived at the scene,
Because they have to be.
I don't trust Michael Lank. I don't trust Michael Lank. That's
Who
for
would you
sure.
trust?
That's
No.
one.
I could think of many more. Gallagher. I do not trust him.
But how do we know who they're going to send?
I do not trust Seraph. I do not trust Mulaney.
No, it's a real.
I certainly do
it's
not trust
traumatic.
Helena
Yeah.
Rafferty.
No, it's
Certainly
not.
do not trust Helena
Absolutely
Rafferty.
is traumatic. We are going through trauma right now. And some people are re-experiencing trauma.
Yeah.
Well, then I suggest you cope with that somehow.
We are.
But this is how this is it. You're looking at it, man.
Standing
This is
up
the
and
co-process. This is the co-process right here. Because this is if you don't speak out about the most transparent injustice that I've ever seen, then what good are we? You know, if you followed my work, you know that I go out against bad people. Monica Cannon Grant,
I do.
Jamie
I
Eldridge.
actually, you know what? I did appreciate your piece on Canton several months ago about the girl who was being bullied on the bus.
Yes, I remember that.
I did appreciate that piece, and I was disappointed that we didn't have a group out there protecting
Oh, we
that
do,
girl.
all right.
Right, and so but you know, nobody died in that. This
Yeah,
is different.
nobody
A
died.
dead
We
body,
heard
and,
it.
and an innocent
$1
person
million.
isn't facing life in prison over a school bullying incident. That was
we're-
unfortunate. I remember that one. The girl was being picked up on the bus at the middle school. I remember it well. It was in May of 2021. As a matter of fact, I believe John O'Keefe and the Alberts like that, because the Alberts used to be fans of mine. I don't know if you know that. They had Turtle Boy shirts, etc. But this is a little more serious. This is not only a man who has been killed,
Well, like
but
you, like
innocent
you said,
woman is
like,
facing life in prison.
If it is this obvious and all of this is being presented, I'm not really worried about it playing out in a way that's not favorable to Karen Reed.
How long are you willing to let this go on for?
I mean, do I have a choice?
A corrupt, yeah, you could join us. The more, when people
No,
speak
no.
out,
Like,
when
I'm
people
not-
speak
care
out,
if it doesn't pan out for Karen Reed.
Are you
That's
yeah,
what
like
you
what?
just
Yeah,
said.
what if Karen Reed's lynched?
That's what you just said.
What if
No.
Karen?
You don't care
No,
how
no, I
it pans
didn't.
out for
No,
Karen
I
Reed.
didn't at all.
What,
Why did
what
you say
don't you
that?
care about?
I said that if everything is as obvious as we're saying it is, then I don't believe that it's not going to play out in Karen
Why?
Reed's favor.
Why?
That's what I just said.
Why?
It's
Yeah, you
gonna
got to
play
research,
out in our
man.
favor.
And I used to, and
Yeah.
you know
So
what?
why
And
is
you
the
know what,
select
Paul?
board
Spin
covering?
everything
No, I
because you're
wasn't trying to
angry
spin
at
it.
me.
That's it.
All right,
I'm
that's
not
a problem
angry
in
at you
itself.
At all. I was
Paul, I used to think the
reiterating
same thing. I used to
my
trust the
words.
systems. I used to trust the
No.
institutions.
I'm
They don't wanna
not
hear
a
it.
big
They don't
system
wanna
guy either, but
Institutions.
like it's the one that we have in place. So like, what's my option? And I'm not a mob justice guy. I don't do
We're
that.
not here for mob justice.
Well, that's kind of what
This is a peaceful protest.
Yeah, why can't we?
Nobody here. Mob justice is violence. We're not here for that.
I would
We're here for
like to-
peaceful
I would like to
protest.
have the
Martin Luther
Canton
King was
police,
not about
please.
mob justice,
How
but
do
he
they
still
do
rolled deep.
investigations?
He's
You
the
know,
only one being violent or threatening.
I mean, yeah, this is the only guy who's doing
Not
any sort
seeing
of
We're not
physical.
doing that.
violence.
Waiting to see the tape afterwards. And Chris Albert too.
We've
Chris-
had no problem with any
Chris
violence.
Albert's a thug,
and
man.
We've done all
Chris
the
Albert's a
overhead
thug.
pass,
Yeah.
silent,
No
quiet,
violence.
and
Violence
we've been
towards
attacked
None.
Yeah.
by vicious people from
Yeah.
the other side.
Yeah.
And
Well,
I'll tell you,
I got to go
spitting
get my
on us
Karen Reed sign. So.
And